Hello and welcome to another Game Nexus snack review. Today we're going to be taking a look at these Drumroll chocolate glazed donuts. I randomly found these at Price Chopper and I figured, give them a try. It says they're plant-based, gluten-free, grain-free, 190 calories, low sugar, and high in protein. You get 10 grams of protein per serving, which is the whole package here. Only 6 grams, only 13 grams of fat, 6 grams of saturated fat, so you might not want to have these all the time. Let's go ahead and get them open and see what we got here. Oh, okay. They're a little bit small. I'd say maybe an inch across. So let's put them on a plate here and see what we got. I'm going to try one of these. Not getting that much sweetness from that. Let me try that again. It's a decent chocolate taste, not overwhelming. And now, as an added bonus, I'm going to try the Califia Farms unsweetened vanilla almond milk. I've never had an almond milk other than the eggnogs that I had tried. And as you can see, that's sealed, just like the holiday nog bottle, which it was more or less the same bottle. Didn't really taste like much of anything on the thing. We're going to go ahead and shake this a little, just to make sure there's not everything that's like all stuck on the bottom. So I'm going to pour a little bit of that and see what we got. And there's your... It's like outrageously white. Like it's different than like regular milk. I don't know if the camera really picks that up, so let me try a little. It has a decent flavor, but due to the fact that it's unsweetened, especially with the sweetness of the donuts, they kind of clash a little bit, but it's not bad. I might try in one of my videos some of this on cereal and kind of just put that as like a little PS at the end of this, so I could tell you how it would be like with cereal. But can definitely say the almond milk is not bad. It tastes creamy, but it just doesn't have that like... It just doesn't have like that milk fat taste, if you will. And if you gave this to somebody, they'd probably think it's skim milk, because that's what it reminds me of. But I would definitely say the donuts are pretty good. I wouldn't eat these all the time due to the fat content, but you do get your 10 grams of protein here, and they do have a rather decent taste. They're not overly sweet, but they do have a bit of a richness to them, which is rather nice. So if you see these in your local store, I'd recommend giving them a try. They're not bad. And I can really say I really don't taste much of that protein food taste. But it could be that I've just had so much of this stuff that maybe I just don't taste it as much. But yeah, they taste pretty good. You can kind of tell something's going on there. It's not like a strong protein food taste like, say, the the Quest brownie or the chocolate cake, the Quest brownie or the chocolate cake legendary foods pastry, but you can tell something's going on there, so you can tell that it's not exactly just like a donut. But what I'll do is in the next part of this video, I'll try putting some of the almond milk on some cereal and see how that is. And then I'll give you my final verdict on the almond milk. Okay, well, welcome back. So now we're going to try the almond milk on cereal and see what that's like. If you recall correctly, when I had it with the donuts, the sweetness of the donuts kind of made the almond milk taste kind of plain. So we'll see how it tastes on this cereal here. This is the Kashi Waffle Bite cereal, which is a fairly tasty cereal. Not too high in protein, but I figured I'll make it something that's not overly sweet or has an overly strong taste to it, so we can generally gauge how the almond milk here tastes when you're having it on your cereal. So let's put a bit here and see what we got. I'm going to try that again. And just one more time. And I can honestly say it goes good on the cereal because unlike when you're just drinking it straight, you don't get that plain or bitter taste because the cereal really offsets the flavor of the milk. And it actually tastes rather good. So if either A, you don't want to have like a dairy-based milk for some odd reason, or B, you're staying away from dairy, the almond milk here might not be a bad choice. I might try it on one or two other cereals just to be sure, but yeah, when I had it here, it definitely has a good flavor with the cereal. And flavor-wise, when I'm eating this just as a bowl of cereal, the difference isn't really that much. So, if you want to have your almond milk, if you're like me, you don't particularly like the taste of drinking it just plain, this might be the way to do it. But I might tack on another a video at the end here of me trying it with another cereal. But if I don't, this has been another Game Nexus taste test review, and I shall see you later. Bye. Hello, and welcome back to the last part of this video where I'm basically taking a look at this particular almond milk. So I'm just going to try this one more cereal with the almond milk and see if it's just like the Kashi one I had tried the other day, and if it's just, just tastes alright. Now, as far as benefits that the almond milk has going for it, the only thing that it really has compared to the regular milk I typically have, which is this 1% milk, is that it has fewer calories. But in the end of the day, let's see, a serving size is 8 ounces, just like the regular milk here, and 40 calories as opposed to 110. So that's the only advantage you're getting here at all. Well, other than it not being dairy based. Because, like, for instance, the total fat is 3 grams, 2.5 here, so it's pretty close. Saturated fat is 1.5 grams. There's no saturated fat over here. This has cholesterol, which is only 15 milligrams, which really isn't much anyway. That has none. Sodium here is 130 milligrams. Sodium here is 140 milligrams, so it's a little bit higher. Total carbohydrate is 13 grams here. Over there, it's 1 gram. But the big place where you're going to be seeing a problem, of course, is protein. You have 6 grams of protein here, only 1 here. So this won't be a good source of protein unless they have one that's protein fortified, which I have not seen. But let's go ahead and give this one a try one more time and see how it is with this Magic Spoon French Toast cereal. And just see if it's just the same old thing as the other one. So I'm going to try this and see what it's like. And as it's a fairly plain tasting milk, it doesn't really clash with the cereal. It kind of goes along with it. So if for some reason you need to have less dairy in your diet, this milk would be absolutely fine. But the only thing I don't like is that it's lacking protein. And I tend to be a more higher protein diet, so I'd rather more protein and not so worried about the calories because my calorie intake isn't too high. But if you're looking for a milk that's non-dairy based, maybe a few less calories, this might be the way to go for you. But for me, as it's a very plain tasting milk, it doesn't taste that great. As it says, it's unsweetened vanilla. On its own, it just doesn't taste that great, so I probably won't be buying any more of this. But if you're looking for a non-dairy milk, this might be an okay choice for you. Well, this has been another Game Nexus video, and I shall see you later. Bye.